Hello, your girl is back. Hi, guys. It is I, Kathleen, your conscious coach. Welcome to the KHCC channel. Welcome to this live. It's been a minute since I did this, so yeah, I'm excited to. I'm excited to be here. All things considered. So let's get into it. What we are going to talk about today is Monique, TD Jakes, AI, Usher, however you want to say it, and a couple of more things. We're going to highlight a book by a Black author, and so that's what we're doing today. Hi, I'm so glad to be back. I am so glad to be back. Like, y'all don't even know. I miss you guys. So again, welcome back to KHCC TV. I have missed you guys. I know you guys have missed me. I know I can feel it in my shana. Nah, I really can. So we are live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So again, this is my first time being back in a minute. So we're gonna work through this together. We together on this. Hold on, I'm trying to get my other camera set up while I'm getting caught up and get caught up in everything. So let me shrink this back down. Let me get my business off the door because Facebook can see everything. They see everything. Mess around, y'all be screenshotting stuff. Get out of my business. Let's get this party started. So this is Instagram and YouTube, and this is a Facebook Live. So welcome to my live. We are back. I'm on air already with YouTube and Instagram. So Facebookers, this is Facebook. Hi Facebook. So, and this is my desktop. Okay. So yeah, I'll be cutting eyes at you guys. So let's get into it. What we're going to be talking about tonight. So welcome to KHCC TV, where we uplift and talk about and we empower the Black family. That's what we're all about. So it's kind of like talk about trending topics and all of that, but it's all nice and clean and fun, educational, informational, all of those things. So first of all, if you want to go to YouTube or Instagram, you'll see more of my visuals and really feel like you're a part of the show, or you can just listen in on Facebook. Doesn't matter. So, anywho, at any rate, let's get into it. So, first, let's talk about the awesome Mr. TD Jakes. Now, this is just Google. I just pulled up a picture so you can see who I was talking about. Of course, we've heard allegations about some type of sexual grooming or something. I know I watched the Larry Reid Live show, and Larry Reid Live had a guest on the show who the guest was saying that that he was going to press some charges and some things were going to happen. It was a lot of talk. Of course, they talked about him being on at Diddy's house and participating in the freak parties and whatever those things were, but nothing ever manifested. Like nothing ever manifested from the whole conversation. And we live in an era now where receipts, right? Everybody comes with the receipts. No receipts. There have been no receipts. This is just all talk, unfortunately. I follow TD Jakes, right? Like, I like the bishop. I listen to him because he is good at what he does, and he's very educational and spiritual, and it feeds my soul. So, we're all human beings. None of us are above reproach. None of us are above sin. And unfortunately, some of us are not above criminal activities. So again, there have been no receipts, right? And since there have been no receipts, they said they were going to take him to court and do all of this stuff, and there were going to be some court filings and all of that. Haven't seen any of it. So, Bishop T.D. Jakes, I can tell you this. I literally have some of his books up here. Let me see if I can grab one. I know I have Instincts and something else. Anywho, they're up here somewhere on this bookshelf. But, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of T.D. Jakes, and I love him. I love what he brings to the body of Christ. I support him. And, it is what it is. And if something happens to come forward, if someone happens to press charges, if he's guilty of anything that they say he's guilty of, then yeah, he has to deal with the repercussions of that like anybody else would. I would expect him to have to manage whatever the situation is. So that's that on that. I mean, I can't undo anything he's potentially done. It's all alleged. So who knows what's going on with all of that. Here's another important thing I wanted to talk to us about. I don't feel like we talk about this enough. And you probably never been on a podcast or anything like this, or watched a YouTube channel that's anything like mine, because I'm not here. I'm here for entertainment, right? But I'm also here for education and information. So I want to share this with you guys because, talk about receipts. Talk about receipts. We need receipts. And so I don't have a what's the name for this, but I'm gonna, I'll talk about it later on. Nope, I'll talk about it now. This will work just fine for now. So speaking of reading in the Black community and what level we are on in terms of reading. So I'm going to share my screen with you again because I have some information here I really want us to look at. And we can always talk and say what we want to say, but it's good to have some things in front of you that makes sense, that kind of brings it all together, if you will. So speaking of reading, now, as you can see on my screen, hold up, let me go over here because on here. Of this is many of America's Black youths cannot read or do math, and that imperils us all, right? It's going to impact everyone. It's going to impact your child. It's going to impact our community. It's going to impact the level at which they are able to achieve in life, right? You can look up stats on people that know how to read well, their grade level, and they excel. Okay, that's just what it is. So I want you to read right here where you see, my little mouse is dancing. She told me that 84% of Black students in 8th grade lack the ability to do math, and 85% are functionally illiterate. Now, what I do want you to know is that that's 2 times for Black people. So let's just say 42% of white people are at this level where they can't read or whatever. If it's 42% for whites who can read and achieve, it's like saying 10% of Black, because that's how the stats go. It's like they outpace us 2.5 times more in academic success, in the real world, put it all in there. And so what do we do to get on track? How do we get our Black children on track with reading? So if you follow me on Facebook and things like that, and I'm going to share another ad too, then I often share about how important it is for you to read to your children. They need to see you reading. In fact, this is one of the things I got from my mom's house. Challenge your mind, read 30 minutes a day. My mom was a reading advocate, okay? She would go into the schools and the programs, and that's what she did. Where are we? You see why? You see this bookshelf? Well, Facebook, you can't see it. I'll turn you around. But do you see that bookshelf? Those aren't even all of my books. I haven't even put all of them back on the shelf. I have children's books. I have books for myself. I have self-help books. I just bought books. Why? You have to read. Your children have to see you reading. This is not rocket science. They're going to follow you in whatever you do. So one of the books I'm currently reading, actually, I read half of it yesterday, and I'm going to finish the rest today before I go to bed. So I'm going to grab it. I know I'm just scooting around in this little chair, child. Don't make me break no nail. So this is one of the books that I'm reading right now. The Black Fatherhood, Reclaiming Our Legacy. This is one of the books. I read half of this book yesterday. It's an easy read. It's like an ode to his father and his father's father. This book is so good. I got so many points out of this book, and I'm actually going to do a book review on this book. It's a really good book. If you're a Black man, read this book. If you're a Black woman, read this book. If you're Black, I don't care who you are, Black, white, Hispanic, I don't care. This is a good book. We don't talk about fathers don't talk about themselves as much as they should, because if you're a father active in your child's life, you need to be talking about that, because people need to hear that. People need to see it, and people need to hear it. Okay? But this book is really good. He dropped some nuggets. The author is, I think it's a father and son, Dr. Curtis L. Ivory, and it's Ivory, like Ivery, and Marcus Ivory. So again, Black Fatherhood, Reclaiming Our Legacy. And that, I got that book out of the library. Okay. So what is legacy? So legacy has nothing to do with, legacy for me is more character, integrity, honor, loyalty, and all of those values that you get to pass on from one generation to another. It's also generational wealth and all of those things too. But I really want us to focus on what as a person are we leaving our children as an inheritance? What's my attitude? What's my integrity level? What's my honor system? What does my honor system look like? You know, my character. Who am I in the community? Like those types of things. That's more legacy than anything else. Because if you like crazy all over the community and causing chaos and all of that, yeah, that's a legacy. It is not a legacy worth passing on, but it is a legacy. But if you're doing the things that you need to do, and you're being that role model that you need to be, then legacy holds a whole nother leg. It sets a foundation that generation after generation can live off of and pass down to their children. And it's okay if they do it bigger and better, but at least they had a start. And I think that's part of what we miss today. Our children, a lot of our children, they don't even have a start. They've never been in an environment that was loving and kind and giving and supportive and all of the things that we need. And as a person who was a career substitute teacher and moved from one district to another and then became an elementary school teacher, a kindergarten teacher, I moved around in a lot of school systems. And I saw children who had that great foundation, who books were and reading was important to them, versus children who come from these environments where it's hostile, you know, gunshots, not enough food. They don't have their basic needs met, versus children who have their versus needs met, but also versus children who may not have their needs met, but their parents have set up a structure that will help them long term, meaning education is important to them, that their parents were able to say, hey, look, we ain't got it all, but get your education, right? You remember parents who came from the cotton fields and all that kind of stuff and got free from slavery or whatever happened. And then they said to their children, hey, we didn't have it all, right? But get yours. You're going to college. Yeah, we were slaves and we came out of the cotton fields, or I worked at a factory all my life, or whatever the case may be. But they made sure that their children did better. They focused on education. Even after the slaves were freed, they focused on education. That was the thing. And I just read an article today or saw something on Facebook or whatever, where reading was banned. Of course, they didn't want us to know anything. Child, listen, they lied on us. And listen, even when I went to college as a non-traditional student, in our books and in our sociology books and the bell curve and all of that, they still are trying to paint Black people as lacking intelligence when we know better. Like, we should know better by now. But I saw this thing on Facebook. It was like a meme or something. Somebody sharing something about Black history. And it talked about this guy who, when they tried to deny us access to reading materials, he created a library on a boat. And he would use that library on the boat, to travel to different sections or areas so that Black people could read and they could have books. So I just want to encourage you, get some books, let your children see you reading. My grandchildren, when they call me, guess what they know? Granny wants to read. I got to see my babies reading. Like, nah, I have to see. Look, Granny needs to know, can you read, baby? Okay. Let's go to something a little lighter. What about Usher, guys? Did you guys see the Super Bowl halftime? That Usher is very talented. That's all I got to say. The brother he's very talented. A few people thought he's a little too touchy and feely. Now, for me, and I'm going to share my screen again. If you're on YouTube or Instagram Live, you can see it. For me, to be honest, guys, I didn't really think nothing of it. I always think of performers as performers. I mean, I don't know what you want. That's what they're there for. They are there to perform. And they better do a good job at it because people are paying money. So it's just like acting, right? When you see Morris Chestnut and whoever your favorite actors are on TV and they're kissing and they're doing everything, it's acting. It's all a performance. It's a million people watching. So it's not like it's a show for you. It's a show for the world. Now, was Usher's hands moving all over the place? Listen, the Usher's something else. The man know how to put on a show. And I got to give it to Usher because bro look good. He looks good. He out there skating. He like 51 years old. Bruh out there skating and get it on and everything. I love the performance. I love the skating. I love his gas. Her played that guitar. Her girl, Alicia Keys, she did her thing. She's Alicia Keys. She gonna do Alicia Keys. I like the outfits, the white, the blue, the whatever. I just thought it was a good halftime show. That's my coffee. I just thought it was a very good halftime show. I was entertained. Yeah. And I'm hard to entertain because, I don't just watch anything. But people made a big deal out of Usher, right? And him and his little moment now. Everybody made a big deal out of it. But guess what? That man put on a good show. And Alicia Keys' husband, he knew better. He knew Hold on a second, because I'm about to do something I ain't got no business. Okay, there we go. My pop out. I don't need that. Okay. So he knew that it was a performance. Y'all over here thinking that Alicia Keys finna get beat up when she get home. Now y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. That girl was not gonna get beat up. Now, of course, if you're watching on YouTube and Instagram, you can see I'm sharing my screen. Usher looked good. He looked good when he took his shirt off. Go Usher. Anyway, I liked her outfit. I liked the guitar playing. I liked all of it. Everything was good, and it was a good fun show. And unfortunately, Swiss Beats had to release a statement because you guys thought he was gonna go home and DV Alicia Keys, and that man was not gonna go home and commit no DV on Alicia Keys. We do not live in that era. Nobody's committing domestic violence no more. I hope not. I hope you know better. And I hope if you committing domestic violence, I hope you going to jail, because that's what you need to be, because you need to get some sense. So, but yeah, Squiz Beats released the statement. Of course, he's like, y'all worried about the wrong thing. You should have been checking out her dress and enjoying the performance or whatever. And I agree. It's, come on, get yourself together. Get yourself together. So anywho, that was that. Mm-mm. Not my oh, hold on, y'all. I got too many things going on. Sorry about that. So that was Usher. That was his situation. And I'm gonna talk about Monique in a minute and her Shay Shay interview, her interview on Club Shay Shay. I got a few things to say about that because Monique, why? And I'm gonna tell you why I had a problem with I don't have a problem with Monique, but I want to talk a little bit about what I saw and what I heard, right? I don't know. It was giving poverty mindset. That's what I was getting from it. And I'm not a Monique fan in terms of her comedy. It's not my thing. I'm grown, so I know what cussing is and all that. I get it, but I don't. What's the funny part? Like, I'm always listening to her. Hey, what's up on Facebook? Thank you for joining me on my live. Thank you for joining me and watching the replay. If you're watching at some point, somebody's going to watch the replay. So thanks for watching the replay. But thanks for joining me on my live. I see you, cuz. I see Sam. I see Edward. I see Stanley. I see Jarena. Thank you for joining my live. So what's up? So again, what I heard from Monique was it just was giving me poverty mindset. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm getting off track here. So Usher did a good job. I'll wrap this part up. Usher did a really good job, and I appreciated the show. It was fire. It was fire. You want some activity going on. You don't want it to be boring. You want, great guests. Like, who doesn't want great guests? I don't want any boring guests or old, not important guests. Anywho, it was cool. All right. So one of the other things that people are talking about when it comes to the Black community is, where are we in tech spaces? Now, don't get it twisted. We are in tech spaces. Okay. I know a lot of people like Lisa the astronaut from Atlanta who's into tech. Matter of fact, I know a lot of people are into tech. Matter of fact, let me drop this on you. There are free tech schools for African American people. One of them is Cyber Up here in St. Louis, and they serve 4 states. I think I know it's Phoenix, and I know it's Missouri. Phoenix and Missouri for sure. The other ones I don't know, but I think it's a total of 4 or 5 states. So you can go to tech school, get your degree or certificate in cybersecurity, absolutely free. Hey, Miss Baker. Hey, Sonia. So you can definitely do that for free. Now, I don't think you guys understand what I'm saying. You can go to a tech school as a Black person for free and come out the gate making $60,000 to $80,000. Okay. I had actually signed up myself before my injury, but now you guys heard me talk about I have a traumatic brain injury. I know it don't seem like it because I'm on here talking and I seem just fine, but I actually sleep 70% of my day. So, and I know that's weird, but that's what I do. I sleep a lot. It's a part of my condition. It makes me, every time I do something, it makes me extremely tired and I go to sleep. It's funny. But there are tech schools that are available that Black people can go to for free. I'm gonna say it again. You can walk out of that door, finishing that program, making $60,000 to $80,000 a year. I kid you not. There's also a free medical school that you can go to school to be a medical doctor if you are African American. Okay. So one of them is in New York and one of them is in Tennessee. So if you want to become a doctor and you have a sufficient GPA grade point average, you can go to school to be a doctor for free. And when I say doctor, I don't mean an RN, I don't mean an LPN, I don't mean a CNA, I mean a whole doctor. There is also a program that will allow you to go to school to be a lawyer, an attorney, absolutely free for African American people. Now, this you can take advantage of. There's one school in New York. I don't know the name of it, but it's one school in New York, and then there are other schools available as well. All you have to do is do your research. That's all you have to do. And Google is amazing. Also, talk to some attorneys and ask them about these programs, especially attorneys that look like us, because maybe they have participated and received some of those benefits. Okay. So, AI, where we need to be in tech and STEM, you're always going to hear me talk about tech. You're always going to hear me talk about STEM. Okay. Because I understand that we need to have higher earning jobs to be in better position. And higher earning jobs require a different level of education in terms of subject matter. Okay. If you go to school to be a school teacher, you're going to make $54,000 a year. Okay. That's what you're going to make. You're going to make $54,000 a year, or you're going to start off at $33,000. You're going to hit 54,000, about 65,000. I think that's all they're doing. So you can go to school to be a school teacher. I was a kindergarten school teacher. Great career. Most fulfilling thing. I mean, I worked at the bank in money laundering and fraud department, which was so exciting. Paid me very well. But when I was a kindergarten teacher, nothing as rewarding as being a kindergarten teacher. However, yeah, it's not the same as working at a bank. It's just, I mean, it's the same in terms of system processes and all of that, which is why all careers, once you go to school and get an education, everything is transferable, right? You can take whatever skill set and move it into a whole different career. That's the reason why. So everything is transferable, but you get paid more. When I worked at the bank, my first year, my first year, I made about the same amount of money that I would make as a school teacher. But then when I got my second position at US Bank, it was a higher role, a higher position as an analyst. And of course, I got paid more money, right? So, just be aware of that. So in terms of AI, and if you're on YouTube or Instagram, you can see the screen, and I do have AIs, what we're talking about right now. In terms of AI, cybersecurity is going to be super important, because everything that's done by computer, ran by interfacing, right? Which is the backdrop that runs any system. So anything that's ran by interfacing software, blah, 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 you are going to need troubleshooters, and you are going to need cybersecurity and so many other things. So maintenance, you're going to need a lot of stuff. Get into STEM, get into technology, get into tech programs, get your children, school them on over. shift them over to STEM programs, like, all this human service, working for the human services department and social work and all of these things. They're great, they're okay, but we need some high earners too. So we need some of us to scoot on over to higher paying jobs, is all I'm saying. Okay. And I think I talked enough about that. Okay, so while you are here listening to this show, and I'm going to type it in the chat as well. Okay, where's my little chat thing at? What? Okay, what? Facebook? What in the? Let me see. Excuse me. I'm an old lady. Okay. So if you would like to support this show, because I'll be doing this every week, you can always go to my Cash App or send me a message and I'll send you direct links to all the ways you can support the show. I'll be doing this every week. So on Cash App is KV Product. And yeah, support. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? How's everybody thinking? Ooh, how you thinking? That's a big one. So we're going to get to Monique here in just a minute. Let me make sure I go through here and see if there's anything else. By the way, I'm Kathleen. I'm chosen. I'm an educator, author, speaker, and writer. The author of the Conscious Book Collection, 4 books that I have written to help us in the Black community where I saw that we had need. My focus is on the family, empowerment, and one thing I love to say is Black excellence is normal, right? When we see us doing things that are amazing, outstanding, and all of that, that is really just normal. It really is. But it is outstanding. It is commendable and it's all of that. But please never, ever forget that it is normal for us to exceed and excel. Okay, you get that? You got it. You understand? So yeah, I'm going to show the Cash App again. You can use Zelle, PayPal, and all of that. Another thing that I'm shortly going to talk about is a lot of people don't know this, but I am a licensed excuse me. I am a licensed insurance agent. I'm a licensed insurance agent in Arkansas and Missouri. So if you need a life insurance policy or you want to get a quote, make sure to send me I didn't do that right. Let me fix that. Just text me the letters GW for generational wealth, and you can text it to 314-472-8127. That's 314-472-8127, GW. And I will call you, reach out to you, text you, whatever, and so we can get you a life policy quote. If you Black and you living without a life policy quote, that's a problem, because you need to leave something behind. I don't care if it's $50,000, leave something, right? And if you're young and you're healthy, I can't give you a quote because I have to get your information to give you a quote. But we have people with $300,000 policies. Okay, if something were to happen to them, you can pay off your house. You can leave something for your children for college. It's real generational wealth. So text GW to 314-472-8127, and I can help you out with that. Now let's get into the last little bit. We're gonna get into the last little bit here, and gonna talk about Monique. Woo. We're gonna talk about Monique because we need to have this conversation. I'm gonna give myself a little break for about 30 seconds here. If you're enjoying the live, do me a huge favor if you're enjoying the live and show me some love, send me some hearts, share this live video with your friends, with your family, share the replay. If you're watching it, share the replay. Say, hey, this is a cool YouTube channel. You should subscribe, okay? Subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me on Facebook and on Instagram, okay? All right. I love to dance. All right, enough of that already. So let's get back to this Monique situation. Okay. Oh, listen. Whew, eyes have not ears, and ears have not heard. That Monique girl. I saw some things, sis. I saw some things, and I'm just gonna speak on the things that I saw. Monique on Club Shay Shay. Let me share my screen right quick because let's just let's listen for a hot second.
Tell it, because what you can do is be in a position to prevent it happening to someone else over and over and over again. So if I go back to the 11th grade with that sister who's no longer with us, rest her with that sister.
So
How many single
I
family
think
houses, single family homes would it take to
hey,
equal
welcome
one
to my live. Oh, so
multifamily
many of you
deal
all
like
have been
this?
on tonight.
Red on the
It's
card.
amazing.
What goes through your mind when you hear that?
What goes through my mind when I hear you?
So when it comes to Monique, this is all I have to say. I heard a lot of talk that was unprofessional. For me. And what was strange was she may not know it's unprofessional. Like some people don't know what professionalism is, and some people do. So she was on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp, which his show got like national attention when he interviewed Cat Williams. So now everybody knows Club Shay Shay because of his interview with Cat Williams. And that's just what it is. And so Monique was on the show. Okay, like I said, someone had contacted me, not more than one person actually. And I had a conversation with them about professionalism in the workplace, and as you are going up the ladder, so to speak, and what to expect. And also to realize you are always your own brand. So you no longer are waiting for people to serve you. You have a goal. You have a place. I'm going to get my coffee. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I know this is so unprofessional. But this thing keeps beeping and it's getting on my nerves. So, I'm back. All right. So you have to realize that you are your own brand. Okay? Always. You always have to keep working. Okay? So no matter what, you have to keep working. You have to look out for you at all times. And you have to get along, to play along, to get where you're trying to get. Okay? That's the name of the game. I don't care where you are, because people look at you as your brand. Okay? And when people look at you as your brand, then you're the voice for your brand, right? You're the brand. And so people are always trying to see, can I work with you? Can I work with your brand? Can I work with the person that you are? Don't ever forget that. I don't care what business you're at. It's better for you if you're not going to be a team player. And I'm just talking about in the space of professionalism. And I'm talking about Monique and Club Shay Shay and all this stuff. And what I heard, the way she talks, I have had to tell some people, I have had to pull some people to the carpet. I've had to, you might as well call the police, because I'm not, all of that is ghetto. It's ghetto. It's unprofessional. And if you speak like that, and that's how you move, and that's how you talk to people, it's ghetto. And people are not going to be looking at you as a person that they can work with. When you're on a professional level, it has to be professional all the time. Even when you're saying no, even when you're saying you don't want to do something, it still has to be on a professional level. Even when you're making suggestions, number one, do they even care about your suggestions? Right? You might want to put them in your pocket and take them somewhere else. They may not even care about your suggestions. You can't fight for everybody. Woo! Where my fan at? I need my fan. Look, I got so much. I just rearranged my office before I went live. You cannot fight for everybody. And that's another thing I saw Monique doing. Oh, I want to tell this person this. Oh, I'm fighting for this person. Oh, I wasn't going to let them treat him like that. Oh, I was going to speak up. Oh, you was going to be out of a job. That's what you going to be out of a job. Okay? I kid you not. I had about 3 or 4 people call me with job issues. They had a problem on the job. What should I do? This and that. Be a professional. If you are uncomfortable with where you are working, create a plan so that you can exit. Because here's one thing that's going to follow you the rest of your life. Professionalism. Were you able to get along with the people in the environment that you were in? And if you go around crashing plates and breaking mugs, you will develop a reputation, and your reputation will precede you. It will go before you and warn other people, don't deal with her. Don't deal with him. They're not professional. And that's all it boils down to. I saw a lot of Monique. Hey, Lorenzo. I saw with your handsome self. I saw a lot of unprofessionalism. And Black people, we have to be oh so careful not to cross that line. Okay? Because we have a way we speak, we have a way that we talk. When I'm with my girlfriends, I might be like, girl, she had me messed up. On the job, am I gonna be there talking about some girl, girl, you got me messed up? No. I'm going to express myself and say, I would like to speak with you because I have a grievance, or I didn't like the way that was done, so I need to speak with someone. Or I'm going to put it in my back pocket because I need to make these coins, because this is how I pay my bills. This is how I pay my mortgage. This is how I pay my car note. This is how I pay for school. This is how I support my family. And I know that some people are ignorant and they move in foul ways. So all I have to do is do my job. And if I'm tired of working here and tired of dealing with these people, go on somewhere else. That's how big the world is. Now, when it comes to equality, when it comes to being paid, when it comes to things like that, of course, have a voice. Say what you need to say. Get your coins, get your money, get your value, all of that. But the other stuff that's just unprofessional, don't do that. Don't. And when I listen to the audio of her and Tyler Perry, my line of thought is this. Okay, you are your own brand. And there are expectations because you are your own brand. Yeah, you working for Tyler Perry Studios, right? And she wasn't working for Tyler Perry Studios, but I'm just using that as an example. You work for Tyler Perry Studios under contract. You're not a Tyler Perry Studio employee. You're working for Tyler Perry Studios under contract, which means you are an independent 1099 contract person. And when you are an independent 1099 contract person, go do the job that you were paid for. And remember, you are your own brand. How are you going to be a part of a show and not be willing to promote the show? Because guess what? You got your paycheck, but you still are going to be moving in that space. And because you're still going to be moving in that space because that's your career choice, you got to do what you got to do, because not only are you going to do that movie or that project, you're going to move on to another one. You're trying to put your name out there. You're trying to keep your brand out there. And one thing I notice is this: if you're an actor, comedian, whatever you are, I own my own, company. Okay, listen, I don't even have, I got my product in here, but oops, I'm making a mess. Right now, I own Diva Wings. I'm an author. I'm all of this stuff. Guess what I have to do? Promote every day. Every day. If you pay attention to celebrities who are bosses, who run their own brand, they hire people to run their brand. Why? Because you have to promote every day. So how are you going to be a part of something and not be willing to promote it? That's your brand. That's your meal ticket. That's how you eat. And people tell me all the time, well, if you're going to do this and that, by the way, go get you a Diva Wings bra organizer. Listen, people tell me all the time, you need to get somebody to do your makeup. You need to get somebody to do your hair. If you're going to have a product, you need to get to do this. Guess what? My product is in 4 stores. 4. And I look how I look right now, and sometimes worse. You know why? Because I'm a professional. And when I get on the phone with people who support my brand, who took my brand and put it in their store, I'm going to speak with them as if they matter. And I am going to be my brand's biggest supporter and a voice for my brand, which means, listen, relationships are meant to be built. And I don't think people understand that enough. But relationships, let me move this over here so I can stop looking 2 different ways. Relationships are meant to be built. They're meant to be cultivated. And even when you need someone to understand you, you have to do it in a civilized way. Hey, my sis, Pam. Hey, sweetie. That's my sister, y'all. Hey, Pam. We got to visit each other. It's getting warm now, so let's get it together. But you're building relationships. Don't ever forget that. And you're building your own brand. So don't ever forget that. I don't care what's going on. You are building, you're keeping yourself alive. You're keeping yourself relevant, and you're building relationships. Don't mess that, excuse me. Don't mess that up trying to get something off your chest. Don't do that. And I found that a lot of times, my coffee is so good. I found that a lot of times, yes, I'm drinking coffee at 7:47. And it's cold and it's still good. I found that a lot of times we don't know how to set boundaries for our mouth. Okay. And where you come from, who you are, nobody cares. In the world of professionalism and business, nobody cares. People are trying to keep their business, sustain their business. They're trying to make money. They're trying to get to the next level. And they want their ride to be as smooth as possible. And I hate it for Monique. I really do. I really love that she gave a voice to women in terms of equality, in terms of pay and all of that stuff. But that other stuff, no. Keep it professional. Now, Monique is way above my pay grade. Monique is out here making millions of dollars, and I respect her. I respect her craft. I mean, I can't do nothing else but respect her. She is definitely in a place that I have yet to arrive, millionaire status. But I just want her to be, I would want all of us to be conscious of the fact that when it comes to business, you have to set your personal agenda aside, and you have to make corporate-like decisions. And if it doesn't fit you, if it's not a good fit for you, or whatever the case it may be, you still have to make an executive decision on how you're going to move forward. And however you move forward is up to you. Nobody can tell you not to do it, right? But it could reflect back on you as not being the professional move to make, and that it didn't make sense. So as you're going up the ladder, or operating in whatever position that you're operating in, just remember to remain professional at all times. And another thing I heard her saying quite often was, I heard her saying a lot that she thought people were calling her like her aunt, like their auntie, big sister, friend, and stuff like that. Guys, keep it professional. Listen, all this, she got my back, and all. In the world of business, it doesn't work like that. We're not in the streets. This is real business. This is contract. This is black and white. This ain't gangster. It's black and white. And even when it's black and white, it gets messed up. So just remember to keep it professional at all times. If the space is not working for you, move it along. Just move it along with a lot of grace, right? I am 100% sure. I'm 100% sure. Hi, Dorita. I'm 100% sure that Angela Bassett, who is a phenomenal actor, who we all can agree she never got her just rewards, and she's still alive, so she can get it, but well overdue. So Angela Bassett, Whoopi Goldberg, who she was disrespectful towards, like, y'all, even if you say, Whoopi, I love you, I look up to you, you know, you're one of my favorites, and then you say, but I disagree with what you were saying, do y'all not know that's disrespectful? It's disrespectful, because why are you putting other people's name in your mouth and telling it to everybody? That's mad disrespectful. That's unprofessional. She was name dropping like, she just dropping names. Oh yeah, and Billy John in 1976, Billy John did this, and Reagan turf water in 1999 when we was making the film, and I never forget the brother Claheed Maran. Girl, you on that name dropping for what? It's unprofessional. Now, if you go into court to sue somebody and you need all these names, you know, most of the time people redact them from the form or include them in your case when you're filing your case for a lawsuit. But you out here all willy-nilly just dropping names like water. Unprofessional. So listen, that people were asking me my thoughts about the Monique situation and what I thought about her Shay Shay interview. That was it. Name dropping is not cool. Disrespecting people who came before you, even when you disagree with them, is not cool. Focus on what you're trying to do. You don't have to drag anybody else along with you, especially when they didn't ask to go on the ride. Do what you're doing. If you're trying to get equal pay, hey, if you're trying to get equal pay, fight for equal pay. If you're saying you didn't have to do the promotion, okay, you didn't have to do the promotion. You don't have to be like, Tyler Perry did this, Oprah did this. Now, I do understand and agree with her about Oprah Winfrey in terms of she did not expect her to interview her mom and her brothers and things like that. I thought that was wrong. I agree with her on that. That was very personal. I thought it was wrong. But it's kind of like, after someone does something to you that you didn't like or you didn't agree with, stop fooling with them. Move around. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it's Oprah, but stop fooling with them. Move around. That's what Tyler Perry did. He ain't mad at Oprah Winfrey. He was on the Oprah Winfrey Network. He made some films. He did some movies with her and everything. Guess what he did? Oprah, I ain't mad at you. Guess what? Because I can build my own studio. Just like you got own network, I ain't got to get mad at you, fall out, call your name, tell people you was blocking me, which I don't know if she did any of that to Tyler Perry. All I'm saying is that you can create your own. You can create your own space. Especially now, you can create your own space. Keep your brand fresh, alive, and professional. That's all I'm saying. And from what I see in the video, that is not what she did. And that is what she should have focused on. She should have focused on whatever she was trying to achieve, better pay, whatever her and Oprah had going on. She could have picked up the phone and called Oprah and said, Oprah, I don't like this and that, blah, 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 and kept it moving. And all these throwing out names and I got something to get off my chest. Let me get you straight. Hey, ain't nobody leaving here. You might as well call the police. No. No, sis. That's that on that. But I love Monique. I agree. Stop wearing bonnets to the airport. I agree with my auntie on a lot of things. But as a conscious coach, I wanted us to be conscious of the fact that you can be rich and unprofessional. You can be educated and unprofessional. You can be in all different spaces, but watch your brand. It is your brand. Play fair, Oprah, Tyler Perry, and everybody else, and Monique. And I just saw a lot in there that I was like, "Ooh, Monique, no, no." Speaking up for people and stuff is fine, but it's a way to do that too. You cannot listen. You can try to save a lot of people, and you can speak up for people, and you can do all of that. It is a way to do it. It's a way to do it. And sometimes you have to do it after the fact. If somebody's immediate life is not in danger, and then after the fact, have a conversation with whoever you think you need to have a conversation with. That's my thoughts. Anywho, you guys have been amazing. This was my first show. It lasted an hour long. I want to say thank you for being on this live. You can catch the full show on YouTube at KHCC TV. Subscribe to my YouTube channel where we will be sharing some good content where we focus on the Black family and all of those good things. But check out the YouTube channel and subscribe because that is how you'll get these videos in the future. I'm right now setting up to interview people. Anybody who's Black, you can be an author, running your own business, whatever the case may be. My job is to get positive role models in front of our face, especially when it comes to Black marriage, Black family, Black education, Black success, everything Black. Okay. So reach out to me. Doretha, I want to have you on here. Don't let me start calling names. Oh, let me start Moniquing y'all. I'm gonna start Moniquing y'all. Calling out names. Man. Oh, now look, the southern part of me that came out. Talking about some man. Listen, Monique had me laughing. I was like, girl, stop. Stop it. But my coffee is so good. This is so good, y'all. And I drink it all day. You see how alive I am? No caffeine though. No caffeine. It's so good. Okay, I'm out of here. Thanks for joining me on my live. I am Kathleen, chosen educator, author, speaker, and writer. Join me at least once a week. I'll be posting. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever I'm at. I'm everywhere at KHC, KH Conscious Coach. I am your conscious coach. Have a great evening, guys. And thank you for joining me on my live.